Welcome back, this is Tech for 10 following up with a review of a 2018 HP Omen 15. With this model, you'll find a latest 6-core Intel i7-8750H processor with a base clock of 2.2 GHz that can turbo up to 3.9 GHz on all cores or 4.1 GHz on a single core. For graphics, there's a full GTX 1060 6GB with a 15-inch 1080p 60Hz display, or an optional 144Hz G-Sync display. This model I'm reviewing is the 60Hz display being sold at Micro Center for $9.99. A single 16GB stick of DDR4 RAM is included with an empty slot to run dual channel. For storage, you have a 256GB M.2 PCIe and a 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive. Priced at $9.99 at my local Micro Center, it is comparable to the Acer Predator Helios 300 and less of a value when compared to the Overpowered 15 Plus, at least on paper. Starting with the design, what I once thought was a plastic top case is actually, yep, you guessed it, still plastic. Made to look like brushed aluminum, the carbon fiber is the most premium part of the top lid. The dimensions of the Omen 15 is 360.6mm in length, 264.1mm width, and 25.4mm in height. Weighing in at 5.4 pounds, it is close in weight to the Acer Helios 300, which is 5.64 pounds, but chunky when compared to the Overpowered 15 Plus featherweight 4.55 pounds. It is not the most portable gaming laptop around, but doable for mobile gaming. As for the rest of the laptop, its chunky plastic chassis doesn't exude premium, but it does appear solid at first glance. That is until you press down the top lid to find flexity. Overall, the design of the top case is edgy and appealing, with a gamer aesthetic apparent the moment you pull it out of your backpack. Starting from the top, we have the usual 720p webcam located in the center. No nose camera here, and that's a good thing. The bezels are nice and slim, with the drawbacks being that it's a bit dim right underneath the average brightness setting, with a 60Hz display that lacks G-Sync. Worth noting that this model doesn't have Optimus graphics either, so the display is always powered by a discrete GPU. A drawback to this is you don't get the benefits of G-Sync because it's not a G-Sync display, but also you don't get the battery savings of Optimus. A lose-lose scenario. When it comes to screen quality, the 15-inch IPS Full HD is about average, with an sRGB rating of 68% and Adobe RGB rating of 51.3%, meaning photographers and creative designers should look elsewhere. With a max screen brightness of 266 nits, it slightly edges out the Overpowered 17s with 260 nits display, but both are below the average of 290 nits for gaming laptops. Looking at the keyboard, it feels nicely spaced with a standard spaced number pad, unlike the Overpowered 17 Plus that had the arrow codes too close to number pad, crowding it. The key travel is acceptable and has a familiar membrane feel upon use. Applying pressure on the keyboard shows minimal flex and feels comfortable for long typing sessions, like for typing this very script. The keys gave enough audible feedback to immediately know when each key has been pressed without being distastefully loud, which your roommate will appreciate. The 4-zone RGB lighting can be adjusted with the Omen Control Center, offering nice bright backlit keys. Further down, the trackpad failed to impress with a small surface area and unresponsive at time taps. However, the inclusion of a dedicated left and right button I appreciate, but I would have rather preferred to see a larger trackpad. The Bang & Olufsen speakers provide quality audio and loudness, which is nice to have. However, if you plan on using this laptop on the go, you probably will be using headphones the majority of the time for consuming media, gaming, and video editing, so it's not a necessity. Major points do go to the HP audio software, Omen Audio Control, which was useful with its built-in equalizer to find the perfect sound profile. On the left side, there's one USB 3.0 port, a full-size SD card reader, and separate headphone and microphone inputs. While on the right side, power jack and another USB 3.0 port. As you move towards the back, you'll find a Thunderbolt 3 port that has 4 lanes of PCIe that will allow the use of eGPU to further increase the longevity of this laptop. You'll also find a mini display port, HDMI 2.0 port, USB 3.0, and a single RJ45 Ethernet port. With the hexa-core i7 8750H and 16GB of RAM, demanding software like AAA video games at high frame rates, video editing, or 3D rendering should pose no issues. The NVMe M.2 solid state is a PCIe based one versus the usual SATA based one, which offers amazing read and write speeds. And the 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive performed as expected. The full GTX 1060 is no slouch when it comes to gaming, feeling nice and smooth when it comes to the games, and on the screen you can find the average frame rates that you can expect from this configuration. It is also worth noting that Omen's Command Center has a neat software, Network Booster, which allows you the use of using a direct line Ethernet cable along with Wi-Fi and prioritizing your traffic. That way, when you're gaming, you can use your fast Ethernet cable, and when you're just watching YouTube, you can watch using the Wi-Fi. During office loads and light video editing, I found CPU temps to hover around 50 to 54 degrees Celsius, while during gaming sessions, temperatures rose to a max about 94 degrees Celsius. Setting the fan to comfort setting did help with the max temps, increasing the fan curve and lowering the max temps to about around 88 degrees Celsius, which were the best temps that I could get given the 3 preset fan curves. When comparing the HP Omen 15 thermals to the Overpowered 17 laptop I reviewed previously, while gaming I was able to consistently get about 72 to 80 with peaks of 85 degrees Celsius while on the Overpowered laptop. However, the HP Omen 15 I would never dip down into the 70s when it comes to degrees Celsius. In a nutshell, this laptop runs hot and is well known of this model to run hot and sometimes reach peaks of up to 99 degrees Celsius with the CPU temps. I would advise, if you're going to get this laptop, to look into undervolting or possibly lowering the CPU wattage in the BIOS. While idling, the Omen laptop is audible with a low fan noise about 25 to 32 decibels, and the temperatures during these idle moments are fluctuating between 50 to 54 degrees Celsius. Now, under heavy loads with CPU and GPU being taxed or playing the newest games, the noise level does raise up to about 57 decibels, and sometimes it can peak up to about in the low 60s when it comes to decibels. With the included 70 watt-hour battery, it performed near average with light web browsing, giving close to about 4.5 hours. Now, it gets close to 3.5 hours if you're playing consistently videos or constantly on YouTube, and even less than 2 hours if you're playing games actively. Upgrading the laptop is simple, and just like the Overpowered laptop, it has a dozen or so Phillips head screws on the bottom between you and the internals. Once you open up the bottom, you'll find that there's a 2.5-inch hard drive caddy and 2 RAM slots, of which one is occupied, and one M.2 slot. In summary, here are the pros: good performance, decent keyboard, great speakers, and a fast M.2 drive with Thunderbolt 3 support. Now the cons, it does feel very plasticky with some flex on the top panel. I don't like that. The CPU temperatures do get quite hot when it peaking sometimes up to about 99 degrees Celsius under full load. And there's no custom fan settings, so you're stuck with the 3 presets that HP has built in, and the fans do tend to curb up really fast and then they go down really fast, so you constantly have this yo-yoing of the fan speeds. and the 60Hz screen is noticeably dimmer than the optional 144Hz screen. Overall, for $999, it is good value for any budget gamer, video editor, or 3D renderer on the go. The laptop will work and handle most medium to heavy workloads. However, at this price point, I do feel that HP could have given us that 444Hz display, and I would definitely highly suggest getting that model if that's an option. Now, using both the HP Omen 15 and the Overpowered 17 for the last 10 days, I did find the HP Omen with its increased portability. I did find it in my backpack more when I knew I was going to be on the go. However, if I knew I was going to be in one location for longer than a day, I would tend to take the Overpowered 17 due to its larger screen real estate, double the RAM, as well as higher refresh rate screen. Now, both laptops, you will need to bring your lap charger with you, since they don't have all-day battery life. However, the HP Omen does have slightly more due to its 70 watt-hour battery, which is mostly negated due to its NVIDIA G-Sync that constantly drains the battery, and the Overpowered 17 has a weak 48 watt-hour battery. Now, in terms of value, the Overpowered 17 does win hands down for the price you're getting, with double the amount of RAM at 32GB of RAM and the standard 144Hz screen with a mechanical keyboard as well. Is a steal at $999 when I bought it at Walmart. But in terms of portability, the 15 HP Omen hit the sweet spot, definitely with the 15-inch screen despite the drawbacks. Now, I have recently picked up the HP Omen 15 GTX 1070 Max Q that has the 144Hz screen, and I'm going to be testing it out, and I'll provide my thoughts on that once I do in the future. That's pretty much it for this video. Links for the model is listed below. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe. And this has been Tech for 10, signing off till next time.